Afternoon guys, welcome to RC Heli Check UK and what is hopefully going to be a historic day today. Finally, we're going to see if we can get this in the air. So we have the new high voltage batteries here, which are on charge at the moment. These are going to be running in series because they didn't have a 6S4000, so I bought two 3S4000s and I'm going to wire them in series. And then this one here, that's the 3S4200 milliamp LiPo, which will be powering up the outer fans. So that'll be doing the quad fans. That's also high voltage, but I've just got to change the plug on this because it's got a Dean's on it. It needed XT60. So I'm going to solder that up, so I'll do that while these are charging up, and hopefully we're going to get this bloody aircraft in the air finally. Time will tell, so I'll get it all soldered up off camera, and then once it's all done and wired up, I'll come back to you. See you later guys. Quick progress report while we are waiting. So I've got this battery connections done. I have got a female on the positive, and on the negative on this one, it's covered with some heat shrink at the moment to stop the contact from touching. And then this one is a male on the negative, and on the other battery, which is still charging, when that one's done, that will have on the positive a female connector, which that one there will connect into, and another female connector on the negative, which will be obviously what connects to the Harrier. That way then, like I say, because these are only going to be used in the Harrier, that's why I'm wiring them this way. It means I'm going to need to make a new harness for charging up this one here, because it'll have a female and a male on it, whereas this one I can charge this one up with the two females on onto on an EC5 plug basically. But I'll need to make another lead that's got a male and female bullet connector for the charger to charge this battery, because like I say, the other one will have two female connectors on, which will connect into an EC5 when I charge them up, but this one will have a female and a male, so I'll need to make up a new lead for that, but I'll do that in a second. But yeah, that's the progress. The Intellect LiPo, which is on charge, that has basically got two bullet connectors, 3mm bullet connectors, yeah, females, which will just plug into the XT60 on the aircraft. That means I don't have to change the plug then on the harness here. I can just plug the connectors directly into them pins there. They are strong. I've already tried it. The battery I've tried as well, and it's a perfect fit. So yeah, just waiting for the other 4000 3S to charge, because these are high voltage. They actually charge 4.35 volts. I'm going up to 4.3 volts because that's the most my charger will do. But yeah, so that's the progress so far. I shall come back when everything is all done, and then hopefully we'll be able to get this thing in the air. Right fellas and fellarettes, we have the Intellect 3S 4200 snugly fitting in there exactly as it should, perfect fit. And we have the two 3S 4000s ready and able. I've marked them up pack A, pack B, because like I say, each one has got its own individual charging lead, but we are basically ready to go. Hopefully I'm going to put the batteries into the compartment there, figure out some sort of like wiring layout, because obviously I want them to be as tidy as possible, and then I'll weigh it and we'll see how much it weighs with everything in it, and go from there. Okay, batteries are shoehorned in, if that's what you want to call it, and we are on the scales at 2,981 grams. 2,981 grams. We are under 3 kilos. The batteries are high voltage, they are fully charged. If this doesn't go now, I think I will cry. Here we go. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. Let's get this thing airborne. Right, we're still having a little bit of an issue with the weight, but it's getting there. I need to lose more weight, but we are teetering right on the edge there, guys. Right on the edge. Okay, guys, sadly we're going back to basics. I need to lose more weight. Trouble is, I just don't know where I'm going to do it. As you can see, I've literally stripped everything back out of the Harrier. The only thing that is left in there is a KK2 board. I've pulled out the servos for the nozzles and to lose weight, and it still wasn't enough. There's either something I'm doing wrong with this KK2 board and I'm not setting it up right to get peak performance, or it's just still too heavy. I mean, empty it's 1,271 grams. I saw them on a video that I just watched put this whole aircraft complete without any batteries on, I should say, on a set of scales, and it was just over 2 kilos. And I mean 2 zeros something or another, I can't remember. But I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether the batteries are alright. I mean, they're producing the power now, but I'm still too heavy. I mean, the electronic speed controller that they use, they've basically bought a circuit board and wired it up themselves, and they weighed it, and it was like 56 grams. This thing here that I'm using, it's 131 grams. I mean, I don't know if there's another ESC out there that I could use that will cope with this power from the Schubler or what. These ones, I mean, they're not that heavy, to be fair. They're quite light, these 50 amps. They're okay. The little 40 amp ones that I've got in the wings, they're fine, they're not that heavy. But I just think I've got to lose weight. I mean, I might be able to lose some weight from this loom, wire it all up differently as well, try and reduce the amount of wire that I use. Like I say, whether or not I can find another ESC. This is a 150 amp ESC. I need to see what the main amp drawer is on the Schubler, and then see if I can find a smaller ESC. I've got a Yet 120 at home, which is probably half the weight of that. In fact, I've actually got that Yet 120 here, and I should be able to see what the difference this side is in weight. Bear with me, guys. It's got so much crap in here. Right, put that back in there a minute. Right, that don't need to be on there. No, it's 106 grams. That is 106 grams. I could probably get it less than that. I mean, the wire on there, the EC5 will come off. These cables will probably need to be cut shorter, and I need to put the 5mm bullet connectors on for the Yet 130. But this is a 2 to 6S, get away fly, 2 to 6S ESC, and it's got a built-in Beck as well, so I'll be saving weight, because I won't need to use Actually, I don't need a beck. I wasn't using a beck with the other one. But yeah, anyway, that's the story so far. As you can probably hear, I'm a little bit dejected. I'm not going to get this sorted out before Gala Day this weekend. So I'll see what I can come up with, guys. I'll get back to you later. I'm going to have a think about this. It'll all be on the same video. I'm not going to do another video. But yeah, I'll get back to you in a bit and see what we can do. Alright guys, as you could probably make out from I'm getting pretty dejected about this. Now, I've been chatting with one of the other club members, and he's a pretty dab hand when it comes to EDFs, okay? So, hear me out, right? This is what we've come to the conclusion with. We know that the Harrier at the moment is teetering on the death, getting off the ground, right? But it is still being held back. Now, I cannot think of anything else to reduce the weight of this aircraft. I can't take anything else off. Hear me out, this is going to be long. Right, the Schubler fan that I've got in the Harrier produces 4.3 kilos of thrust, okay? It's an all carbon fibre fan, okay, with a Het 768 by 2100 kV, okay? Now, for it to get its 4.3 kilos of thrust, it knocks out 135 amps in total, okay? But I've stripped the Harrier out completely. I've took everything out. The only thing that's in the Harrier at the moment is the KK2 board. I've stripped everything out. I stuck the Schubler on the scales after I took it out, and it's 495 grams. It's nearly half a kilo in weight with that motor. And then at 135 amps, it meant that I needed an electronic speed controller at least 150 amps, and the only one that I got is the Gecko that I fitted. That Gecko is 150 amps, okay, and it weighs 131 grams. So that is nearly 620 grams in total weight between the electronic speed controller and the fan alone. The JP fan that they use is an all metal shroud with an all metal fan, okay, that produces 4 kilos of thrust. Now, in theory, if you have a fan that produces 4 kilograms of thrust, no matter what make it is, it should be sufficient enough to get this model off the deck. I was originally going to use the Freewing 9-blade 90mm fan, which is currently sat in my G91, which is actually above me at the moment. That produces 4 kilos of thrust. Well, 3.9 to 4 kilos of thrust with the outrunner. The inrunner produces 4.3 kilos of thrust. So the Freewing fan has a metal shroud with a plastic fan in it, okay, and the motor, I can't remember what the motor is and whatnot, but it's 1900 kV. It only weighs 297 grams. That's 200 grams less than the Schubler. That is powered by a Hobbywing 130 amp electronic speed controller, and that only weighs 97 grams. That's nearly 40 grams less than the Gecko that I was using. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work this out. A fan that produces 4 kilos of thrust with an ESC combined that is nigh on 300 grams less than the fan and ESC that I previously had, no brainer. In theory, I should lose by replacing that fan and that ESC with the 9-blade and the 130 amp Hobbywing fan, right? I should lose another 300 grams. If that fan produces nearly 4 kilos of thrust, we should get this Harrier off the ground with this fan. Now, it means that my G91 is going to be decommissioned for a little bit. Not long, but I need the fan out of there just to prove this theory right. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm going to go up the club pretty early, and I'm going to get cracking with this G91 fan, remove it. I don't need to take the ESC out because I've got another spare 130 amp ESC anyway, but get cracking with this EDF, take it out the G91, get the ESC and whatnot all wired up and fitted into the Harrier, get the Harrier retuned with everything that I had in it, put it in, I want to put in different places because it seemed too crowded on top, so I want to put a lot of the stuff underneath. Where the retracts have come out, I can put like the main receiver, I can put the electronic speed controllers for the 250mm fans underneath. So it eliminates basically as much wiring as possible from the top of the Harrier because it was too crowded. I need to get to that KK2 board to do some more programming. So that's going to be the plan tomorrow. Gala day is on Sunday. What day are we today? Friday. So I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I've got 3 days to get this done for Gala day. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think I can do it? That's the only thing that I can think of doing. Now, if I'd originally stuck with this fan that I was going to use, we may be in the air already. I don't know what, but it's just a theory. And the guy Tom that I was telling you about, he knows his shit when it comes to EDF fans, and he's in agreement that it'd probably be better to use the 9-blade because it is lighter. We're going to lose nearly 300 grams in weight by replacing the Schubler and the ESC that's in there now with the free wing fan and the hobby wing ESC. So that's what I'm going to do. Get that fitted, get everything wired back up again, which I can hopefully do tomorrow. And then I want to try and dive a little bit more into this KK2 board and try and get it so that it runs at its maximum efficiency, because that LiPo that powers M4 fans got really hot to the point where it distorted the PLA on the 3D print. So there's something not right somewhere. So I need to make sure that I've got it all calibrated properly. There's P&I gains that I need to fiddle with. I should be able to move that Harrier left and right, or up and down, forward and backwards, and those fans should kick in without me throttling up, and it's not doing it. So I think the fans are being overworked, hence why the LiPo got so hot. The reason why the two 3S LiPos that I've got in series creating a 6S4000 got hot is because Tom told me that the Schubler really sucks power out of the lightning box. That's why they got hot. Now in theory these batteries powering the free wing ESC at only 105 amps should not get hot. They should not get hot, okay? So my main problem now is to reduce that weight by 300 grams, which I can do by changing the fan. We've already spoke about that. But my other issue is to make sure that they are all running efficiently, all 4 fans on the outside and that 90mm fan, so that those batteries run at their maximum performance without getting hot and melting a hole through the Harrier. Because if they keep running at that hot a pace, then they're literally going to melt the Harrier. So that's what I'm going to do, okay? It is around about 11:15 PM here at the moment. So what is going to be me about 8 or 9 hours in kit for you is literally going to be about a second, if that. So let's get on with this. I'll see you in the morning, guys, and we'll see if this theory works. What do you reckon? Put it in the comments. See you later. It's 8:30 and it's like 22 degrees. That's what, 72 degrees Fahrenheit already. It's going to be a hot one today. But we're not interested in the weather. We are interested in what we spoke about last night, or for you, like 2 seconds ago. So, as I said, I'm going to be taking the fan out of the G91 and I'm going to be putting it in that. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. I'll do that off camera and then I'll come back to you when I've got it out and we'll weigh it all up and see what the difference is. So let's get on with it. Let's get this bloody thing flying. Right guys, it is currently another day. That brief clip that you just saw when I said it was like 8:30 in the morning and it was really hot I didn't have a chance to get everything finished. So now, off camera, I've basically got the Harrier fanned with a different fan, with a 9-blade freedom fan. Put the ESC in, got everything rewired back in again. I didn't see the point in the video in that because you see me do it already. I have wired it up slightly differently, but not that much. But we're ready to go. We're ready to see if this thing's going to go. And I'm currently in the clubhouse because, although it's a different day, it's blowing a hoolie out there. So I brought it in the clubhouse just to test it, to see if it will hover and to trim it out. Now the thing is, like I say, because it's so windy out there, I don't think I'll get a true reading if it actually gets off the deck. So I'm going to do that in here. So I'm going to set the camera down on the deck and we'll go from there. Okay guys, the moment of truth. I am so nervous. Let's see what we can do. I am going to need, if this works, to trim it out to see if it drifts. That's why I bought it inside here. I've left the cover off the top of the batteries. Okay, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. That. Left. Right. Are we armed? Holy crap.
That was what? Crap.
I said holy crap.
Oh, holy crap.
I'm still videoing.
Sorry.
Wow. Someone's making a bit of a buzzing noise, I'm not sure what it was. I don't know whether it was the front fan or not. And I don't know whether it was dust that was kicking up or smoke. Wow. It hovers. Finally, it hovered. The only trouble I've got is the ground effect. You can see the nose bouncing. That is the ground effect. I need to get some balls basically and lift it higher to trim it properly. I don't know if you saw towards the end of the flight, or right at the very end of the flight, it kind of went to the left. So I think I need to change the P gains on the ailerons. I need to change that. It's bright out here. Need to change the P gains on the ailerons. And I trimmed it. I had to trim it. It was yaw into the left, so I had to put right rudder in to stop the yaw. That worked. I only put a couple of clicks in, and then on the elevator, it was trying to pull forward, so I put a couple of clicks back on the elevator, and that stopped that. But then, as you saw it kind of jinked round to the left really quickly, and then there was this puff which I thought was smoke, hence why I shut it down quick. I actually fractured the tail, the bit of the tail that I was holding when it did that. But again, like I say, I think I need to increase the P gains on the ailerons. That would have stopped that from doing it. But yeah, it wasn't actually smoke. I thought it was. There's no burning smell, there's no heat smell or anything like that from the Harrier. It was purely simply just dust. So next time I test it, after I've charged the batteries, which are on charge now, I think I might do it outside where I've been doing it on the brickworks. It's a little bit windy, but I need to grow some gonads and actually get it off high enough to get out of that ground effect, because that's what was making the nose bounce. But we timed it from start to stop on the fans. I checked the batteries afterwards, and the 3S 4000 at the front that operates the outer fans, and the two 3S 4000s that I've got in series, both had, all three of them had 70% in. So I've used 30% of the battery power with a 1 minute 30 second fan run. Wow, that's pretty damn good. So that's the plan. Get the batteries charged up, and I'm going to go again. I'm going to hopefully get some gonads, like I say, and actually lift it a bit higher off the ground. But I'm a bit cautious of the wind. It's really gusty up here again today, as you might hear on the mic. But we're getting there. It is actually airborne. Swapping over to that free-wing fan was the best thing I did, which is kind of ironic, because that was the fan that I was originally going to use. But when I got offered a Tubular, which produces more thrust, I thought, great. Didn't even think about the weight of the fan. Those HEP motors, those tornado HEP motors that power them, are heavy. So I basically weighed it as well, off camera, and from the start, before I started stripping it all down, with the batteries that I had then, it was 3,520 odd grams, I think it was. I managed to lose a bit of weight by removing the undercarriage and all that kind of stuff. But now with the other fan in, the free-wing 9-blade fan, and the electronic speed controller for that fan as well, I think I lost another 150 grams. And on the scales, with all the batteries in, with everything in ready to go, it now only weighs 2,715 grams. I've lost nearly 800 grams from the start. So that's a hell of a lot of weight. I've lost nearly a kilo. So, bloody wind. Yeah, it's getting exciting now, guys. I was like a kid at Christmas when it went up. But the old heart pounded, and I need to be careful because I've just recovered from a heart attack. I don't want another one. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's get these batteries charged and try again. Right. Let's see if I can. Let's see if we can do it again. See if I've got the gonads to get it up a little bit higher. Try and get it out the ground effect. See what he's actually doing. I think until I can actually start to trim it out that way, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So bear with me, and let's see what we can do. Right. Here we go. that's getting that's really hard to stabilise, really hard. But I think we're getting there. That battery's not too bad. Let's disconnect it all. Batteries are getting warm. That is lifting under its own power. But I still think I need to have a look at the whole weight thing. Well, not so much the weight, but wow. I think it's the stabiliser. I think I need to adjust the stabiliser a little bit more. The actual KK2 flight controller. I mean, these batteries are quite hot. Well, that was rather an abrupt stop there. I mean, I've still got ways to go, but the theory about using the lighter fans definitely worked. Now, I think the problem is the KK2 board. I'm going to contact the guys who have flown this and test flew it, and I'm going to ask them if they can tell me what their gain settings were and enter their settings into the KK2 board, because I'm guessing here, guys, I ain't got a clue. So I'm going to contact them, see if they can give me the P gains or what I should use, and then hopefully that'll tune them up to maximum performance, and then we should get the stability. What I'm having an issue with is that it's twisting from one side to the other. The fans aren't reacting fast enough to keep it stable, so every time it turns, it takes a second or so for the fans to react to bring it back, and with it being the way that it is, I think it'll tip quite quickly, and I don't think it'll be long before it either goes into a pendulum effect or it just goes straight over and tips. That's got to be something to do with the P gains and the I gains. I haven't got a clue what they are, because I've never done a quad, I've never used a KK2 board before, so I'm literally relying on these guys to give me the information that I need to make sure that this works. But there we go. The theory of using the lighter fan that produces 4 kilos worked. So it's just a case of trimming it now, and then we're good to go. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. A bit of a long one. I hate the 10-minute chat that I had, but I thought you needed to know about that. Click the like, subscribe, all the usual malarkey, and then hopefully the next time you see me fly it, it'll be all sorted and trimmed out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you very soon.